Let me start by making the observation that as a student of history, it's all about continuity and change. Today, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of this platform. The global energy situation 40 years ago was very different from the situation today. And it's likely to be very different in 10, 20 years from now. I think the Sultan Jaber put it very well when he said that energy is the spinal cord of an economy. I normally say it's the lifeline of an economy, but I think that's a more graphic and more apt way of putting it. And we are talking about the global south. And I would like to submit that in this discussion, we sometimes forget where the global south and the kind of problems the global south has to face. A country with which I am more familiar, India, I can tell you that we are using today artificial intelligence for refinery automation. We are using artificial intelligence for 2D and 3D seismic surveys. We are for finding oil and gas. We are using low-cost solar energy in a way to boost our power and our data centers. Again, to quote Sultan Jaber, if you make a Google search, you consume a certain amount of energy. If you go to ChatGPT, it's many times that. If you look at the kind of energy that is being required in our data centers and what we are likely to install, that gives you the direction. Today, we have a population of 1.4 billion people. Every day, 67 million people. I repeat the figure, 67 million people go to the retail outlets to charge different kinds of vehicles with petrol, diesel, battery swapping, and a series of other activities. We see the energy situation in the mainstream now that we will continue to fast develop. Our biofuels blending is nearing 20% by next year. Our compressed biogas is moving very fast. We are stepping on the accelerator for green hydrogen. Okay, that will require again clean, low-cost solar energy. So going forward, and clean cooking gas, we provide it to our customers, and we have, for a family of 4 or 5, they can consume cooking gas if they are beneficiaries of a scheme for 7 cents a day. If they are not, 14, 15, 16 cents a day. Today, India is one country where the price of energy has actually come down in the last 2 or 3 years. Because today we have to frontally address the trilemma of availability, affordability, and sustainability. And I think unless you do all three, you're going to be left out. But that brings me back. Are we in a position to opt for one or the other? I have great difficulty with those of my ideologically motivated colleagues who said many years ago that let's stop all investment in the traditional energy. Well, you saw some problems arising there. Today, in order to make the transition, we have to survive the present, accelerate the transition. And I think when you get global shocks, the transition also becomes faster. But I think this kind of discussion, which covers all the energy, particularly the clean energy, tying it to the climate debate and making sure that they coexist in a harmonious way for the next 20 years. Because I see all of them being, as we accelerate on the green energy transition, we will still need affordable traditional fuels at least for 2 decades, if no longer. And I think the global south, many countries there, my colleague Ines mentioned some parts of the geographical distinct, they don't have clean cooking gas, for instance, and they're still using, even highly developed countries are still not using that. So you need to ensure that all forms of energy are made available to the consumer, because that is the primary imperative which, governments have to face.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.